For today, partly sunny and warm. This afternoon's high, 87.
I don't know, for lots of years it's been called the battle of the sexes. Now some people say heading into the 90s, it's war. Where do we stand right here in Pittsburgh? Let's find out. Good morning, I'm Ann Devlin. That's what Pittsburgh's talking about right here on WTAE TV. Good morning, I'm glad you're with us. Let's start out here. Battle of the sexes. Still going on? Yes? No? Yes. Oh, yes.
Most men think that they're right most of the time.
And?
They don't give women a chance.
They don't give women a chance.
Or they don't listen to what women have to say.
In relationships?
Relationships in the work world.
You're not happy?
No.
All right, a man want to respond to that? Most men think they're right.
Well, seeing as we live in a male-dominated society, you know...
And you like that?
Well, no, personally I don't, because I feel that a man can't be a whole man without, you know, having the influence, without getting the input and the influence of a woman. So,
Anybody agree with that? Yes? Yeah. So the battle of the sexes, are you in there battling?
No, I don't want to be. I guess I'm kind of just, because of the fact that I'm a male, I'm kind of cast into the fray.
Cast into the fray. Who wants to jump into this? Battle of the... Oh, keep laughing. Go ahead. Keep going.
It's more or less a thing of playing the part, playing the role. Man is supposed to be the center of everything. Women are supposed to move and operate around man. That's the way man wants it. He has the power, and he operates to maintain that power.
Could we get personal?
Yes, we could.
Is that the way you want it?
I used to be that way.
Are you telling me you're reformed?
If you want to use that word, the key thing is that most men in America are raised that way. And if you are raised that way, you also learn how there's a part of life that you're left out of. There's a softer piece of life that you're left out of, because you only operate on that heavy, masculine manner.
Got it. Problem with men, problem with women. Who has more of a problem, men or women? What do you think? Men, women?
Oh, men have more of the problem. I don't think they've grown with women. We have grown. We take care of kids. We're now in the workplace, and the men have to grow to accept that we are equals in the workplace.
There's a man scowling behind you.
No, that's not always true. I have a good personal friend who takes care of his kid, and, you know, it's not the same way. It could go either way.
But that's the exception. That's the exception to the rule.
Well, not the exception. I'm sure there are more exceptions out there than just one, you know.
More exceptions out there than just one, you think? Well, let's start off the discussion this morning from the audience. We take it now up to the set. And let me introduce a woman whose book has raised, well, if there was a battle going on before, it is war over this book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, written by Shahrazad Ali. We welcome you to Pittsburgh's Talking this morning. Let's welcome her. Come on. Say, for a lot of black women, these are fighting words in here. And you acknowledge that in the beginning, that you don't think you're going to be winning popularity contests with this book. You start off by asserting that the black man's problem is 50% the black woman and 50% the white man.
No, I do not. Now, that's the first misconception that the media has just taken completely out of context. I blame the white power structure 100% for the problems we have. But after identifying
You want me to go back in here
fault,
and find it in the book?
No, it's not in there. That's a conception that in fact, I know those percentages are not in there. I wrote the book now, and I know something about it, all right? Now, what I say is that after we identify who our root problem is, what the root cause is of our condition, then when we go into our own communities, I say that the black man is 50% responsible for our problems, and that we as black women are 50% responsible. But as black women, we have never accepted our half of the responsibility. I do not say that we are the total responsibility of all the problems in the black community.
I think your
I have never said that.
Changing, though, from what I read in
No,
here.
it isn't changing.
All right, well, let's get to here. I have quotes ready to go here. You assert that black women, under the influence of their mothers, quote, she does not know she is learning to whore. And that's in relation...
Now, that's a perfect example of that didn't work. It did not give the kind of reaction you expected, because that's completely taken out of context.
Well, but
and,
it's in the context
you're not reading it.
You say
what it says.
that women...
Why don't you let me explain what I'm saying before we go to the book? Let's try it that way, and then I think you're
Stand by. Let me give you a paragraph off the top here. Often the girl will make up wild stories, create false emergencies, or intentionally stand up to the boy or tease him with sexual promises until he vows everlasting love. She may also demand expensive gifts or costly outings to have the black man crawling at her feet, worshiping her eternally is worth any and everything to her. Plus, she confirms that he definitely should pay for the privilege of her company. The means are always justified by the hoped for and predictable end. She gets the black boy in the spot where she wants him to be. She does not know that she is learning to whore.
That's true. What we have is a situation where most of what we have learned about parenting, mothering, wifing, or just being a woman has been taken from the news media. Most of the principles that we function on as black women have come from what we have seen the white woman do on television, in every magazine we've ever seen our entire life, on the radio and newspapers. And so a lot of what we practice is not something that we came here with. It's just a lot of principles and values we have adopted as a result of being in this country, and they have not worked for us.
What does that have to do with whoring?
Well, I'm just saying that a lot of the behavior that we have picked up has been a negative behavior. We practice it because we think that it's our only option. But my message has not changed. I've been going about the country trying to convince black women that we need to take a new look at ourselves, what we stand for, what we do, how we behave, and that we need to get a new respect for our black man, because we have devalued the importance of him in our life, especially in raising our children. That message remains the same, and it's a problem that we need to solve, and I don't back down off of the truth.
It has been proven you have agreement out here. Yes?
No, I was just clapping too.
You don't know? Anybody agree with her? Who was clapping?
Yes, I do. I do agree with what the sister is talking about, because the problem does come from, the main problem comes from the society. You can't even get a good, clean commercial no more. You see men and BVDs. You see women and bras, and it makes it difficult for our children to maintain a good and clean aim and dignity about themselves, because this is the way that they think that they must be in order to be accepted.
All right.
And the other thing is that this book represents our collective contribution as black women. This book is everything that we have ever done as black women that have made for the decline and downfall and unsuccess of our relationships with our men and in our families. This just shows what slavery has done to us. We've always looked at what slavery did to the black man. We have never examined ourselves. And this is the first platform the black man has ever had to air his grievances about the black woman, because nobody would listen to him. All you all do is listen to us and our complaints. And certainly the black man has done some dreadful things to us. But as this book demonstrates, we've done some dreadful things to him too. And so all I'm saying is that now, since we're all busted, we can build a new foundation, start all over, and clean up our lives and our families. But this book is true.
You also assert in here that a black man is capable of taking a woman and making her beautiful, intelligent, and wise, but she is not able to create the same effect by herself. She will have one of the three or two of the three, but she cannot achieve beauty, intelligence, and wisdom alone. The black man is her catalyst.
That's right.
So you can't...
See, God created a man and a woman in every nationality to complement each other so that they could mate and be happy and reproduce. And so certainly they're codependent upon each other. The man also cannot be fully happy unless he has a woman who is in agreement with him and who makes him, a good woman and makes him happy. It's a 50-50 thing. We have to do a give and take instead of us demanding and getting all the taking. We have to show some consideration to our man. In every black civilization, every major one that has ever been successful, and every white one, and I might tell you, it has been the black man who has been in charge, not the black woman. And we were happy with our position before we came here to America as slaves.
You like the black man in charge, a man in charge of a situation.
Absolutely. And I know that I don't represent a weak woman or a woman who's saying you should be subservient or subjective to, subjugated under a man. I represent great strength. It takes a lot of strength and willpower to come out here and go through this every day, trying to teach my people a new way of life so that they can be happy and successful.
But I mean, to be honest, you're also promoting your book, which is for sale.
Well, absolutely. You have to get the information out into the community. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of black television shows, and my people watch all of these white shows, so this is the way I have to reach them.
We don't like to think of it as a black show or a white show. We like to
not
think
with
of it as
15% of population of blacks in Pittsburgh. It wouldn't be too profitable to think of things as just black and white. But things are black and white. That doesn't mean that we can't coexist. That doesn't mean that we can't, you know, function with each other. But things are black and white. We have a very special set of problems that are not the same as the kind you all have.
I've got to tell you, we're going to stick to men and women here this morning. But
all right.
Because I think that there's a lot that I would like to say to counter what you just said, but let's stick to the book. And we're going to get to the part that you say is most controversial, and it is, probably, and it's also the part that you say...
Go for it, Ann.
you don't want to talk about from the top, but you got to do it. There's never an excuse for ever hitting a black woman anywhere but in the mouth, because it is from that hole in the lower part of her face that all her rebellion culminates into words. Her unbridled tongue is a main reason she cannot get along with the black man. She often needs a reminder. This does not mean that she needs or wants to be battered or beaten to a bloody pulp. However, if she ignores the authority and superiority of the black man, there is a penalty. When she crosses this line and becomes viciously insulting, it is time for the black man to soundly slap her in the mouth.
Okay, now let me respond to that. Initially, when there was a lot of outcry about that particular statement in the black community, notwithstanding the fact that domestic violence is at an all-time high in our black community, so I certainly am not advocating that kind of a threat in our homes. However, initially, as I said, I thought that this was something that really upset us. But this is a 206-page of very valuable information for any black man or black woman. And so for them to try to put the total worth of this book into that one sentence, it doesn't wash anymore, because I have a lot of other valuable information in that book that a person can learn from and benefit from to better their lives.
Well,
so that's been taken just really wild. Black men are already killing us. They're murdering us, they're stomping us, they're doing everything.
So you say
I'm putting
it's not
some
okay to do
restriction
that?
and direction on it.
It's not okay to do that, but you're going to direct them to slap women in the mouth.
Well, it's certainly better than killing us, and a lot of times we are so disrespectful to our man with our mouth. A lot of times we are so disrespectful to the black man with our mouth that if we were a man, he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't accept it from another man. We talk to him so viciously and so disrespectful.
You ever been slapped across the mouth, Shahrazad Ali?
Well, this is not a personal autobiography, so I'm not answering that kind of question.
You won't say whether or not you've been slapped?
No, I'm not answering that.
All right, let me ask you another one.
That's not applicable.
Let me ask you another one.
Let me tell you this thing. It's always amazing.
Come on. If you, this is your view,
and you're right, because I know this is going to go to hell in a minute. Let me explain this, because I know we're getting ready to go straight to hell as soon as you let this follow.
If a man did it to you, what would you do?
Well, if he wasn't my man, he wouldn't have a right to, first of all. So I'm not talking about
your man.
We're not talking about my relationship. I work hard to be a better wife and mother. I'm not perfect, but I work hard, and I'm trying to get other black women to work hard. And so the way to avoid that is don't get out of control. Don't get disrespectful, and then you don't have to deal with it. See, the thing that people are saying, that I'm saying that every black woman does this, that's not the truth, because everything that I talk about, you can recognize visibly, or you can hear it, or it's audible. So you can look and listen and determine whether or not a black woman is guilty of these things. And if she's not guilty, nobody's going to assume that all of us do all of this. But all of us do some of this at one time or another, and every time we do it, it breaks up our relationships. All right, let them in.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We've got a whole lot of people out here. Some disagree with you, Shahrazad Ali.
Right.
Some actually say they see some truth in your book.
Well, we've never had a book that all of the people agree with, the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. So they're going to take out of this what they can use to benefit themselves, and what they can't use, they'll leave it, just like they did God's word. So I'm not going to be insulted about that.
You equate this with the Bible?
Well, no, but I equate it with a revolutionary book of change that is causing a revolution of social relationships in the black community. And we're getting over the big war, because a lot of black women who initially just hated this book and just couldn't agree with it because they refused to see themselves in it. The book is just about personal development and self-examination. They're starting to write me other letters now, and they're saying, hey, I finally was able to read it. I do see myself, and I'm trying to change. And so that's all I wanted. We just needed time to absorb this.
All right, we're going to take a break.
All right.
And we're going to come right back in just a moment.
Okay.
of the sexes this morning, and we started off with Shahrazad Ali, who has written a book that is most controversial, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Let me introduce our other guests here this morning. Kathleen Wilson, from the National Organization for Women in Pittsburgh. Dr. Beverly Steinfeld, a psychotherapist in private practice in Squirrel Hill. David Hendricks from Level Green. And Dr. Lloyd Bell, who's a professor at the University of Pittsburgh, but is not here as a professor. He's here as just a man. Any of you...
How did you take that from me?
I am not taking it from you. I'm saying you're not here to give us academic guidance in this discussion. You're here as a man.
I'm going to give you whatever I define as what to be given. Now, and when I was 13, I heard my mother tell my sister, men want to take your skirts up, you got to keep them down. The battle was on. In my mind, because my mother told my sister, when you go through that door, men want to take it up, you got to keep it down. I didn't even know what was up, but I knew one thing. If Mama said I had to take them up, hurry up, Lloyd, go through the door and start taking them up. And I didn't even know what for, but take them up. So women, to me, call me a dog. I'm not a dog. Y'all got that. I'm not no dog. You just said I was a human being. But women in general, if you listen to their conversations, men this, men that, men are dogs, they this, they that, they do the other thing, the other thing, the other thing, the other thing. From a black perspective, in terms of black males and females getting their relationships together and defining intimacy for the black community, we have to sit and talk. In the days of slavery, black men provided no safety, but still, within the context of love, here I am. How was love defined then? How did a woman accept a man who did absolutely nothing in the terms of being able to save their children, being able to save their body, being able to provide them clothes or food? How did black women maintain love for that helpless individual? How? If black men and black women could get together and begin to define love and intimacy for ourselves, notwithstanding the values that white folks or white society says, hey, this is love. It might not work for us.
Stand by. Could I just interrupt? We need to bring this to 1990, okay?
I just did.
You have your supporters. 1990. Do you believe in monogamy?
Do I believe in monogamy?
Yeah.
No, sir. No, in the sense that monogamy in this country is not even practiced. What is practiced is dishonest polygamy. Y'all lie.
Now, all right, bro. That's right. That's the absolute truth. See, when I say in my book that the black man should take responsibility for his wife and his children, certainly that's important. Everybody in America wants the black man to take care of his woman and children. But most black men have more children by more than one woman. You understand? And so they need to take responsibility for all of those women and those children. And he is outnumbered 5 to 1 by the black woman. So somebody's going to have to take responsibility for the widows and the orphans and all of the children he has born.
You advise black women in this book to understand that black men have not been, will not be monogamous.
Right.
And
before he came here, he was not monogamous. In fact, monogamy has now even worked for white America. But you all are still working on it, you know, and I certainly don't have anything to do with that, but it hasn't worked for you all.
Yes, it's dishonest.
It hasn't worked for anybody. It just hasn't. We've never had a
Does a woman get one man in your view?
Yes.
A woman gets one man.
That's right.
But the men get...
We don't have the capabilities to do it. We don't have the emotional capability. We don't have the physical capability to run 2 households, to have 2 sets of children, go cook 2 dinners, have 2 jobs, 2 sets of in-laws. We can't do it. A man can play it off for years and maintain both families, both women, both sets of children, 2 garages, whatever he needs, he can do it. But a woman doesn't have it. We don't have the emotional capability to love 2 men, but they can love 2 women. Many of them have loved 2 women for 10, 20, and 30 years.
Okay, I just wanted to say something, you know, to the gentleman on the end. I don't understand why your mother would encourage you to, you know what I'm saying, like you say, lift up girls' skirts and they have to...
She didn't encourage me to do it. She was telling my sister boys are going to want to take your skirt up, and you should keep it down. So therefore, I just heard that and assumed that's what I was supposed to do.
All right, let me bring in here Kathy.
Yeah,
Could
come
you
on, Kathy.
She can speak for herself. Kathy, let me ask you, do you see this as going beyond the book and this discussion this morning is beyond a black versus white issue of cultures and race? It is what, in your view?
I think that the book is somewhat a product of the times. At this point in time, a lot of sections of our society are examining and re-examining the relationship between men and women. Like you said in my introduction, I am active with the National Organization for Women. And as such, the organization and the women's movement is an outgrowth of the examination of the relationship between men and women. And we still are working on trying to perfect our relationships between men and women, personally and within the community and the society at large. And I think that a lot of people are saying that since there has been some kind of a revolution or upheaval with regard to relationships, gender relationships, that in the examination, some people are advocating that we go back to some other point in time where they perceived things were a lot more harmonious. But I think the only thing that gave way to the women's movement is the fact that it may have been harmony, but the cost was just too much. And I think that there's nothing wrong with examining relationships between men and women.
But I mean, you look at this book and you see it's the evidence of what? You know, right now the right wing is gaining gaining hold of the society, and I think it is you know, reflective of a right movement to the right, a very conservative movement.
To troubled times. We live in troubled times. The rules and the old rules and the old roles are up for grabs. We're trying to redefine it, and that's difficult. And whenever you live in troubled times, there's going to be a struggle for answers. And I think the book is a quick fix. And as Kathy was saying, it's a natural desire to turn back the clock and live in times that we envision as having been simpler and more harmonious, but in fact we're not, without their own troubles.
That's not really the truth.
Well, could you hold on just 1 second? Let me just bring in David here. I just want to get his point of view.
All right.
Now,
Come on,
David, you seem to think that the women's movement...
It's a two-sided coin is what it is. Okay, in the 50s or 40s, 50s, and 60s, it was the woman had her place, and that was it. She was to cook and have kids and all that. That was the social mores at the time. That was the thinking of the time. Okay.
And now?
And now, I think men are starting to realize that women are not something that's to be subservient. Okay, I'm against the modern woman as she has turned out. It's almost like I baked a whole batch of chocolate chip cookies and now they're burnt. They're no good anymore. The Now movement was great.
Women in the 1990s are no good anymore?
No, that's not what I said. I said the movement, what they have ended up. The Now movement I was all for, because women ended up being subservient. Okay, now they've come out, but men are still pushing them down, and I think the movement has gotten kind of crazy.
Here's this quote, and they say it's from you. Thinks most women, excuse me, are self-centered, egotistical, and airheaded.
Correct, because. I'll tell you why. Because I'm 43 years old. Okay, I've never been married, and I have dated a lot. Okay. However.
Wait a minute. We need to discuss this now first before we go any further.
We'll get to now, but I mean, I want to hear. You've never been married.
Never been married.
Why? Because you think that all these women you've been out with.
No, not all of them.
Have an active social life.
Yes.
They're self-centered, egotistical, and airheaded.
Right.
You wouldn't marry any of them?
And the white man is buying this book now.
Excuse me.
Go on.
Stand by.
The women I have dated. Now, this is not all women. These are the ones that I have dated. I have a small business. When they found out I had a small business, they wanted to get as close to me as they could.
They wanted your money.
I've actually had women tell me, well, you don't make enough for me. The three things they look at are your house, your bank account, and your car. However, I have found a good woman, one that does not do that. And I'll tell you, they're out there, but they're few and far between. Because they seem to think I look good, I have a nice body, I can do whatever I want, and that's going to make me happy. And it doesn't work that way.
But you know what? What he is saying is that we need more women who have a feminist outlook on life. Women who find no fault with supporting themselves and being independent, developing themselves, developing their skills and whatever attributes
so they're
they
not
have,
airheads.
and that they are not in a position of trying to find a meal ticket.
But he says you're the problem.
I think he's saying that he supported the movement initially, but you know it was all right for women to come out of being subservient and for women to somewhat find their own. But you know, it's time to pull the plug on that kind of progress.
You can respond as soon as we take a break, and we come right back. And I also want to go out here into the audience because, David, there are some folks out here who were applauding and saying you were right.
Well,
I definitely want to find them.
Let's not get away from the book. That's why we're here.
Oh, Casanova.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving, fighting to make our roads safe.
There's David, the man who says most women are self-centered, egotistical, and airheaded. Let's get some reaction.
All right, first of all, we need to recognize that based on time constraints, we can't really deal with the nature of this issue, and the nature of the issue goes far beyond what the explanations that have been given here. We're talking about differences that exist between men and women. What we need to recognize is that the differences that exist originated long before any of these books were written, long before any of these people have made their points of view. We need to realize that what the problems are that exist in our society between men and women go back to the beginning. The beginning, recognizing the fact that God is the one who created both men and women. He's the one who planted inside of us the nature. It's that nature that has created the differences that's between us. Because when we look at how God in the beginning created everyone, there was harmony. The reason why the harmony no longer exists is because of a sin problem. What we're trying to do here, what these people are trying to do, and you know that's not a bad idea, to look at the problems, because we need to look at them, but we need to recognize that all we're doing now is trying to put a Band-Aid on cancer. It's something that we need to look at from its very origin.
All right, so to David, who says he's not very impressed by most of the women he meets these days, agree or disagree?
Which one, David?
David.
That he's not impressed by the women that he meets?
That he says that they're self-centered, egotistical, airheaded. Come on, what did you say during the commercial break? Let's go.
I don't agree with the fact that when you look at people, you make those automatic assessments. You need to look at the nature of a person. Now, I can't speak to the women he meets. I've never met them.
I hear you. You agree with him right here.
I agree 100%.
Say that again.
I've been married twice.
You agree how many?
I agree 100%.
With David?
With David.
All right, you've been married?
Twice. I have 9 children, and I've been through it all. I've lived with several women, and every one of them except 1% out of the 100 wanted my money and my business. Now, I think we should go back in history.
So you don't have a very high opinion of women in general?
Oh, yeah, I have a real high opinion of women, as long as I'm the boss. Now, we have governments. We have one head of a government. We have businesses. There's only one man tells everybody what to do. In a household, we only need one person to tell everybody what to do, not 2 people fighting about who's going to do what.
That's right.
No wonder he's no longer married.
Respond to that?
You know what, the whole idea that this is a battle of the sexes, you know, I think that a lot is lost in that terminology, and I think a lot is lost in that mindset. Anytime when 2 people come together, when 2 organizations come together, I think what should develop is a kind of a communications where there's understanding, where there's cooperation. And I don't think that you have to, you know, wrestle each other to the mat to try to figure out whose opinion's going to prevail. I think for each issue, there are people, you know, you have to consider personal attributes in dealing with the issues at hand.
I mean, does he scare you?
Yes. Well, he's not my...
Who said yes? Yeah, you...
Well...
Say it fast. I need to get to a caller from home.
You know, people like that, I mean, I realize it's a mindset from another generation, but that's dangerous. That's only going to, you know, it's going to only accomplish to further the problems between us. It's not going to help resolve any of them.
Not part of the solution is what you're saying, right? Michelle from East Liberty, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ann. I would like to make a comment. I don't know the woman's name. I don't even care what her name is. I'm trying not to even think of it. But I saw her on, I think it was Donahue. I was in the beauty parlor when I saw her. And she had made a statement about black women telling their children that their fathers are no good and he's no good and he's this and he's that. And I have a comment about that. I was raised in a single-parent home in a black neighborhood, and my mother never told me that my father was no good. My father, he doesn't care about you. My mother said nothing but good things. I don't know what happened to the marriage, why it broke up, but I never felt that way about my father, nor do I feel that way about black men, period.
All right, thank you for calling in.
Well, then certainly then that doesn't apply to her for the people that it doesn't fit. However, there is a war going on, and the black man must fight for his woman and his child to reclaim his family and his position in the family. And it's a war because of outside agents, and those outside agents are the influence of European culture on black women. And certainly many of our black men are into denial. They do not want to have to accept responsibility for their women and their children and their homes. And a lot of white males are starting to read this book. The values that people are calling old-fashioned, those are the traditional values that made for success. And the effectiveness of these principles has not changed just because modern opinion has. Those things still work. So why shouldn't we go back to what worked instead of continuing to deal with what has already failed?
I agree with you that a lot of our problems are rooted in the present-day culture that puts a lot of value on material things. And I'm the first person to challenge those kinds of values.
Excuse me, but our women got it from the white woman, the position that he described the white women demand, you know, the car, the big job, the big business and everything. That's something that black women picked up from watching the white woman, when our men can't always provide that. So if we require that they give us those things, then we're setting out automatically to say he's not going to be able to be our man and that we don't want him because they've been disenfranchised and systematically left out of the kind of competition that would let him get those material things.
Go ahead.
Okay, I can agree on her point, but like you say, this show is universal, and even though we have a problem different from other people, that there's a balance. And like she said, we have to go back to the beginning and go back to the truth and how men and women are supposed to deal with each other. There's a balance, and the Creator did make men stronger over women, and there's a certain way that we're supposed to deal with a man, okay? So when she's teaching from her book, she has the Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman. I tell everyone, the guide for men to understand women, go to the Quran or go to your Bible or go to the Torah. God has put down the rules of ways we're supposed to treat each other as men and women. Okay, we have a position and they have a position. And when you take an oath, you're supposed to obey your husband because he's going to look out for you. Okay, and it's like she said, it's not always...
You think women have forgotten the part about obeying, and you think they should remember it?
When I say obey, okay, I'm talking about being harmoniously obeyed, not to just, well, I'm making this decision alone because I happen to have the job and he doesn't have a job, so he doesn't have any input. It's a balance. Allah has...
Harmony. Harmony. Okay. All right, right here.
Yes, I would like to know what...
Stand up. Walk over here with me.
Okay. I would like to know, what is your book based on? What are you basing your information on?
Interviews with our people. Sometimes when I get a question in that tone of voice, I realize it doesn't matter what I answer. You're not going to be in agreement with it. Now that's better. Okay, now.
Hold on one second. You got to let her respond. She has the microphone.
The reason that I asked this is I base my beliefs on the way that a man and woman relationship is on the Bible. And God created a woman to be a helpmate, not so much a burden bearer or someone that is just given rules and regulations to abide by. And I was just wondering, what did you
Well, there's some direct instructions in the Holy Bible, in Ephesians and Titus, where it talks about what the good woman is supposed to represent. And all of those principles I list in my book of what the good woman is supposed to represent. It's in the Bible. And it says, woman, hold your tongue. A woman, you are to obey your husband. He is the head of the home, as Christ is the head of the church. It's already written down.
It's not 50-50 in your view. Forget that 50-50 business in your view. Is that true?
No, it's 50-50 in regard to responsibility, but the man must have the final say-so because he is in charge of providing and protecting, and it's his responsibility to be in charge of the family, yes.
Stand by, taking a break.
I'm about to throw some gas.
All right, we're back. You wanted to add something real quickly?
Yeah, really. She's throwing religion into this. Okay, now what religion are we going to use? We're going to use Christianity, we're going to use Judaism, Hinduism, Taoism, what? Keep religion out of it. It comes down to a man and a woman.
The woman mentioned about the Bible, so
the Bible is only a reference book, and it's a good one, but it's only a reference book.
You can't tell me anything about it. I understand that it's not true, so that's not what I'm saying, but a lot of people believe in that.
Keep religion out of this.
You can't give me no direction on here what to do.
You're lucky you're not my wife.
Ah, see? Tell me what to do.
Oh, look at this.
Do the show.
Now can I hit her?
Yeah. No, you can't never hit me right now.
I'm going to take it out of the book.
Go straight to hell and no white man go ever hit me.
Whoa, see?
And then when I get home, I'm going to tell my husband, you got on the television.
You don't even have to, tell your husband.
You take care of that, brother. That's right. You got it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, man. Let's deal with that.
I'll take care of you. Don't even worry about it. I'll look out for you.
This book don't say nothing about
I'll take care of him.
Now see, she says, go ahead and hit the woman.
No, I
and
don't
now
say
she
hit me. I'm not your woman.
She didn't disrespect
I'm not your woman.
That's
and
what
every
she
black
said.
woman that's with a white man, I'm trying to get her to get back with the black man where she belongs. So let's not even deal with that.
Black women don't belong with white men.
No, absolutely not. They belong with the man that God gave to them. We have to go back to God. God is a man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could leave and you all could just go on here this morning.
That's right.
Listen, y'all wanted to talk about the battle of the sexes?
Right.
I don't want to battle my woman. I want to look out for her.
That's right.
Take care of her.
Isn't that in the plural?
If a 10-foot giant comes in here and tries to hurt her, I'm going to mess with him.
There you go.
And beat him up. And that's it.
She needs taken care of, but she wants you to do those things.
Also, aren't we talking the plural here? Didn't you say that? Are you married?
I was.
You were.
He gonna get a wife after the day, because that's a strong black man.
Hold on.
I can say part of the reason why I am not married today is because if I make honesty my highest value, if every man in here made honesty their highest value and told their wife the truth, a lot of them would be divorced. Which is your highest value? If you're honest, you will say, in this society, there are little marriages where fidelity is actually practiced. Period.
All right, let me ask you one thing. Do you agree with Shahrazad that a woman should have one man, but a man should have a number of...
I didn't say should have. I said this is what the black man is doing.
I will answer.
You said a woman
should have one man,
absolutely. Of having more than one man.
But sometimes, because of the imbalance in the numbers, we got 5 black women to every 1 black man. They're going to have to take responsibility for more than one woman if our species is to survive.
And so, and you like the numbers. I mean, you
Excuse
like
me.
multiple.
When you say I like the numbers, the inference is there goes the dog business again.
I never said dog. You
I
said
like
dog.
the numbers.
That's right.
I don't like the numbers.
It's
tedious to have those
That's
kinds
right.
of
That's
numbers.
hard work.
It's hard work to have those kinds of numbers.
That's
It's
right.
hard work to please 5 women so that there's not a holocaust. There would be holocaust
That's right.
if ask yourself, If every man was faithful and there was 4 women left over without any relationship with a man, are they going to die a virgin?
Right.
Believe me, don't even try.
No.
Don't even try.
Boy, we're taking a break.
Don't even try.
Oh, what a morning. Come out here into our audience.
I have a question. Okay, neither one of these two guys are her man. But when he asked if he can hit her, she took offense, but he said he'd protect her. Now, I don't understand.
We have
he can
unity.
protect her. No, wait, he can't protect you because he's not your man. So he can't hit you.
The black man is still responsible for the black woman. If that black man stood up and said he was going to hit this white woman, this whole room would have went berserk. So
I don't think anyone should be hitting anybody.
He was right. Well, then he shouldn't have said that on the air. You shouldn't have jumped out there.
If you're asking me why I said it, within the context of the fact that she is a beautiful black sister, if I thought
Are you
that
flirting
she
with
really
her?
Flirting?
Are you flirting with her?
No.
Why would I flirt with her?
Just asking. Just asking.
You disrespected him. Doesn't matter whether he was black or white. You say about disrespecting men.
It does
and
matter.
he's protecting you. That's
I'm
what
trying
a woman
to
is.
teach
That's what
us
a man
to-
is supposed to do, period.
let me respond.
In any kind of relationship, the man is supposed to look out for the woman, whether they're friends, whether they're married, anything. And that is right. You're just making a big issue and blowing everything up really bad.
Okay. While I was dating, the fact that, yes, I said that women were airhead, egotistical, and self-centered, those were the ones that I've met, okay? But I have met many women who are intelligent, were good-looking, and did not go,
that's a weak man.
This is what I want.
There you have it. Now he getting ready to eat that up, eat that back.
He's apologizing for what he said.
That's right.
No, I'm not.
That's
I'm
right.
saying
Lord,
a lot of the
mercy.
women out there that I have dated, and because of my profession, I'm in a middle of women. I have found a lot of good women out there, but a lot of them, I mean, have
Won't
said,
date you.
oh, I don't care if they don't date me or not. That's their problem. Have said, I'm looking for a man that's got a lot of money, because then I'm on easy street.
Stand by right here.
I have a question for you. You said that you would take offense if he hit you. Am I right?
Yeah.
But that's it. It was your own words that came out of your own mouth that got you to
He's not my
react.
man.
But still, is it not true that all men are created? May I ask you a question?
Go ahead, ask the question.
Is it not true that all men are created equal?
No, that's not true. You all don't believe that, which is why the black man been a slave over here.
I do believe that. I have you know, I believe that. All men and women are created equal. There's nothing you can say.
No, there's nothing you can say. You got it confused. If you believe all men are. The black man is created superior, not just equal.
Stand by.
Oh.
That's where we are.
Go. You've already spoken. Go.
No, that's not. I better keep
You can't even speak. All right, right over here. Come on, right here. Go.
All I think is this woman is a bigot and a racist and a disgrace to her black culture.
I know why you said that. With
Our men are created equal under the law of God, but our nature is not equal because white males cannot produce what black males can produce.
That's right.
We're genetically superior.
That's right, son.
And our genetics
That's
determine our...
That's right. White man just got That's right.
You think you're genetically superior
That's
to
just the
white
truth.
men.
It ain't an insult. That's just the truth. You know, that's just
Got to take a break. Come right back.
That's just
That's for the battle of the second.
All right, very quickly. A minute left. Go.
I'm not a racist and a bigot, and I'm appalled that he said that.
All right, very quickly. Here, right here.
I'm here today because this is National Month for Attention to Domestic Violence. It may be entertaining to continue this debate indefinitely about the economics, the religious background, but there are children who are subjected to the results of this antagonism. One-on-one, we get home and the stress breaks us down. We need to work together, men and women, black and white, to find ways to move into the future. Luke 2034.
All right, got it. I think that a lot of the people who have opinions about my book haven't read it. Go read it for yourself.
But
and
some
read
people
it
say
slow.
you're dangerous.
It's not the kind of book to read fast. Read it a little at a time. Some people go back and read it a little more.
Some people say you're dangerous. Some people won't even interview
It's only
you.
because I'm in the front of a revolution. Who is it that won't interview me?
Domestic violence.
Everybody want to interview me so they can up their ratings. I'm trying to reach my people with this book. Everybody wants to interview me. I've been on every show.
Times yesterday, there are black reporters who won't even interview you.
They're not in the majors. It's like you say, you read that in the New York Times. You know, I've been in every paper.
Ah, geez. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Guests on Pittsburgh's Talking stay at the beautiful newly renovated Hyatt Pittsburgh. Transportation provided by Elegant Limousines of Pittsburgh. And Devlin's wardrobe courtesy of Kaufman's through the personal shopping service. Hair care by Griff's Hair Salon in Shadyside.